Welcome back to another video. I'm here in Glastonbury because Glastonbury's entered the contest and today the judges are in town. Let's go and see what they're all about. So ladies and gentlemen, the competition is Glastonbury in Bloom. Basically, it's a Southwest competition and we're going to find out all about it today, but Glastonbury is proud to have won gold last year and is looking to do the same again this year. And our first destination is the community garden on Manor House Road. Let's go and have a look. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the community garden. And here's Connor, the town clerk.
My
Connor.
town clerk appears. How
Absolutely,
are you,
we always keep our town clerks hidden in trees in Glastonbury. It goes with the ethos. How you doing, buddy?
Very well, thank you, Gabriel. How are you?
Excellent, fantastic. This is brilliant. I used to come in here when this is almost Denny's back garden, wasn't it?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, because I've sat out here many times by that caravan. Denny, incidentally, is an much-loved ex-mayor of Glastonbury who sadly passed a couple of years ago. Her daughter, though, is still on the council. So, what's the plan for today, Connor?
So, we've got the Southwest in Bloom judges with us for the entire day. We've got quite a comprehensive judging route to take them on, and as I believe you've introduced your viewers, the first stop for them is here, Manor House Road Community Garden. This actually won Best Community Garden in Southwest in Bloom last year.
Not surprised.
So of course it's a prerequisite that they had to come back and have a look again. So the judges have just done their judging here. They've just moved on to the new telephone kiosk at the top of Manor House Road. And they were shown round by a lovely couple who live in the immediate area, who are now looking after this community garden. So this was entered as an It's Your Neighbourhood category. So it's not something that's run by the town council. We have supported it financially with a grant in the past, and they've been able to do some of the fantastic work in here with that, as well as a grant, I believe, from Wessex Water.
Yes.
But it's community led, and it's one of those categories within Southwest in Bloom that allows local spaces and organisations to show off what they do as well. In fact, this year there are so many in Glastonbury. We've never had 2 judging days before, but this year we've had to have 2 judging days.
Fantastic. Well, we'd better crack on because the judges are looking at a phone box. After you, Connor.
Thank you, Gabriel.
So I'm with Chris and Julie now, who are the people behind that beautiful garden we've just seen, which used to be pretty much Denny's back garden. It was. Now, Denny was a much-loved mayor of Glastonbury. I knew her well, and I've sat out in that garden before it was a garden.
And her granddaughter actually helps with the garden.
I know, it looks fantastic.
Thank you.
It must be a shed load of work, if you excuse the pun.
It is.
It is.
It is a shed load of work, yeah, but there's a lot of the community that help, particularly Jill and Paul.
Because it won last year, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
I'm not
it swept
surprised.
the board last year.
Everybody
else was giving us daggers.
Yeah, I've just walked through it to get to the front. Oh man, it's beautiful. It's absolutely fabulous.
You.
Listen, I hope you do well. I hope you win.
Very kindly.
I've got to go and catch the judges up. Thank you for taking the time to talk to
bless
us.
you, Gabriel.
And
Thank
good
you.
luck.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go and have a look at our second site. This is the phone box at the end of Manor House Road. Look at this. This is what you can do with a phone box if you try. This has been fully planted here, but the bit I like, if I come down, look, it's got a bug hotel at the bottom. One of the things you're going to see on this is the fact that much more care and attention is being given to the actual bugs and the insect life that make everything work. But we'll see more of that as we go around. Let's see if we can catch up with them. So here we are, arriving at our next destination. We're at the top of the high street, as you can see over there. The gardens are here, and here come the judges.
Either Glendale or the other one.
Ambrel?
Technical
So we
terms being
bought-
used here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they're good planters.
I'd have one.
Well done, Anvil.
I'd have one. I'd have one in my garden any day. They're beautiful. So we're off to the town hall now. They've gone with Connor. I've got my car, so I've got to go up here and get it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're at our next destination, Cavendish Lodge, which is right here in the centre of town, and wait till you see these gardens. So this garden, ladies and gentlemen, is outside Cavendish House, which is in the middle of Glastonbury, and the gardens here, look at this. Wow. Now, if this isn't a beautiful place to come and sit, I don't know what is. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen, the blossom amongst the blossoms. There you go. So, Myra, I know nothing about plants. Can you tell me what any of these are? Just so I don't look so stupid on film.
Which one?
Any of them. I mean, this beautiful purple one.
Phlox.
That's phlox.
PHLOX, yeah.
PHL. And they look like large kind of dandelion things over there.
Well, they are.
Are they?
Rudbeckia.
Rudbeckia.
Rudbeckia. That
Rudbeckia.
particular one's called Early Bird Gold, that one.
Now, these are foxglove digitalis, I know that.
Right, yeah.
My mum and dad used to grow
Yeah.
them. Digitalis and dahlias I can recognise.
Yeah.
That's about it, I'm afraid. It's a amount. You must take a lot of work to keep this up
It
like
does.
this, doesn't it?
It does for a little old lady.
Well, old man as well. I mean, I'd struggle to keep a garden looking anything as good as this. I really would. So, do you choose the planting here, or is it?
So it's an allotment, basically.
Yeah.
And we fund our own allotments. So
Oh, I
what
see.
you see here, mostly my plants, like the roses aren't. The hydrangea is. But no, I just did this a couple of months ago. The gardener cleared this, and I got this planted on.
Wow.
So this is coming on.
Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this planting. I mean, I know nothing about gardening, as you obviously know, but look at that. Doesn't it look beautiful? Can you see that? Look, this one's got broken eggshells around it. Does it like eggs?
I'm hoping that the slugs and snails don't like eggshells.
Oh, it's anti-slug.
Well, so I'm told.
Now, that is so much better than chemicals. What is this plant that they've been living in?
Laura petalum.
Laura petalum. That's a beautiful plant. Does it stay this colour all its life?
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
That was a Morrison's one, pre-lockdown.
Good gracious me. I am stunned how nice this garden is. It's beautiful. Puts me to shame. It puts me, I mean, you wouldn't want to see my garden. I've got what they call a wilding garden, at least that's what I call it.
Good now. It's all the
Yeah,
thing, isn't it?
but you're supposed to plan it, not just let it turn into one. So you do some of this gardening as well? I've just been telling
Mine's
Myra.
around the other side, yes. And I've just been doing it since this year, really, because we only moved in very recently.
Oh.
Me and my husband. Last time you came, it was pouring with rain, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And it was awful. Look at that beautiful hydrangea.
I would if I knew what a hydrangea was.
You saw it before, didn't you?
Oh,
It's
that's
so
a hydrangea.
nasty.
Wow.
Look at this one.
Wow, look at the flowers.
And that's a different breed.
Sorry.
You see this at Wisley?
Yeah.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, tools of the trade.
Yeah, he said he does the major work, but you do lots of the more finer.
It needs lady power, that's what it needs. Look at this, lady. Oh, wow, look at these. Aren't they gorgeous? Oh, I wish I knew flowers. I really do. Look at those colours, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Do you know what? I'm looking for a new colour for my YouTube channel. I think I've just found it. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, a large feature of the gardens this year is bug life. And here we have another bug hotel. I think this is fantastic that we're now encouraging the small bugs into our gardens because they do all the work. We do the gardening, they do all the work. They really do. And as we lose them, we will suffer. So,
It does sustain a few birds and a few nests.
doesn't we've got birds and nests? Birds and nests.
And we have had a lot of baby birds in the garden this year, so it is sustaining, you know, blackbirds and robins and blue tits. Now this is my bit for all along here and then all along here.
A nice
now.
bit of colour in here, isn't it?
And then look at the balcony, they're just starting to come out.
Oh, your balcony's looking great, isn't it?
Yeah. but obviously the bees and everything just love all the plants.
Yeah.
And the cosmos.
Well, anything that's open like this is very bee friendly, you know, because they can get to the pollen easily. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. There's one at work, look.
I'm more into it.
Right there.
But you need annuals.
Ladies and gentlemen, my saviour is on the way. Look at this. Coffee is incoming. Thank you so much.
Should be the right temperature.
It's perfect. I need this, ladies and gentlemen.
In that little corner here as well. So that's all part of mine, really.
Wow, who does the hedge tripping?
I did it. I've done all this.
You do this?
I've helped the gardener this year.
Oh, you know what you're doing,
We've done
don't
a
you?
lot, really.
You've done a heck of a lot.
Well,
Wow.
He sort of fell behind with other projects. You know, this looks a bit wild, but it was beautiful earlier on in the year.
Yeah.
And there's a load of clematis that's been coming over and just spilling through.
Now, that's something else I know about plants. Very little I know about plants, but I know clematis like cold roots and warm flowers, don't they?
They love
That's
it.
one of the few things I know.
And this corner was absolutely delightful with the iris. Yeah, no, I loved cutting all this, to
I
be
bet you
honest.
did. There's a huge thanks to the lovely ladies here for the coffee.
Well, the bird's nest is in here. The blackbird. See, it's how it's wedged in there, look.
Yes.
I have to say how impressed I am with this beautiful, beautiful garden and the lovely, friendly residents who've been showing us around. I mean, where do you start with all these flowers? There's just so many of them. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, entering the White Rabbit here in Glastonbury. This used to be a bank. Not a bank anymore. Yours truly with angel wings. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the White Rabbit here in Glastonbury. It's an ex-bank, believe it or not. It used to belong to Barclays. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bill Knight's garden. We all know Bill Knight, ex-mayor of Glastonbury. We've seen him before. Well, here we are. We've come to see his garden.
Hi, pleased to meet you.
Welcome to Glastonbury.
Looks super as you walk in.
Yeah.
Well, looks really nice.
Thank you.
Before you even come down here, you just
Yeah.
walk into the entranceway. Looks really good.
Yes, well, it's we have a little business here, of course, self-catering holiday lets, and want to do the best for Glastonbury. Give them the impression that you know what we're doing down here. These cottages were built in 1865 by my great-grandmother's brother, and his name was Jacob Watch, and hence Watch's Buildings. And now we've, well, turned them into something a bit habitable and offering the people to come down to Glastonbury.
And they are beautiful. I've been in them.
What's the significance of the names on them?
Well, that's the last people to live in them.
Oh, right. Right.
Are all these things Grade 2 listed now?
Not all of them. This one's Grade 2 listed, and the one at the side of the town hall's Grade 2
Well, for
listed.
where the location is, you know.
It's location rather than the box itself.
Yeah, so we spoke to the conservation officer when we were changing the one at the town hall, because nothing inside it that we did is permanent. You remove the glass. The shelves we had constructed were they're like a wedding cake. You put one in, then another, then another. Then another. And nothing's fixed permanently inside.
So it could be remade into a foam box.
So yeah, all you would have to do is take out the troughs, take out the shelves, put the glass back in, and this tends not to be historic glass.
No.
Any glazier will cut you a piece of glass that size,
Yeah.
and then it could be put back to a non-planted up telephone kiosk.
Fantastic.
But the reason we chose to make them into planters in Glastonbury has a library, we have several defibrillators, we have a community fridge, and they tend to be the most popular uses for redundant K6 telephone kiosks. So we thought, well, hang on a minute, Glastonbury and Bloom is so successful, why don't we use them as vertical planters? So last year the town hall telephone box was the first one.
And people come flock to see that, don't they?
I honestly, when I walk past the town hall, so many tourists have their picture taken.
This time people will come to look at the telephone.
Of course
Because
they
the
will.
young people won't even know what that
What's
is
a
on the
telephone?
wall.
Yes.
You know, Colin, look, what's that there?
Why has he got a bit of string
Yeah,
attached?
I told you a little later on, this is what we used to make calls with before we had a mobile. Yeah.
What? Put your finger
I used to have one of those. I don't know where. I got one of those at home somewhere, one of the old ones. Does it? It sounds really good, yeah.
It's this artist here, her name's Margaret. We have a gardener called Sam Nason. He's a local chap. He just looks after it as and when it needs it. It gets spruced up in the spring and in the autumn as well. He'll plant things that are seasonal. But it was designed by a lady called Heather Turner. She's from Pilton originally, but she has a Bristol-based garden design company called Gaia Garden Designs. So she designed it, and then a local gardener called Marcel built it with the builders that did the refurbishment. And now Sam looks after it. Originally, the planting was quite subtle. There wasn't much floral stuff going on before we even opened the gallery. So it has changed a bit from the initial vision of Heather when she designed it. It was lots of bamboos and grasses, and she put in the architectural trees. But we kind of felt, as we started living with it, we wanted a bit more colour. So I've planted lots of bulbs that come up in the spring.
Yeah.
We put bits and bobs around that bring a bit more colour to it, and a lot of the grasses and the bamboo. Some of them kind of died back on their own. It's okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, who's got the biggest badge? It looks like the mayor wins, hands down.
I think the mayor
I extended my badge though.
Did you?
I put a backing on it.
You did,
So it
just
makes
enhance it. It works.
It means that I don't have to wear the whole garb.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And you're both looking really good. I mean, we have there, ladies and gentlemen. For those who don't know, this is the mayor and this is our deputy mayor. Well, what do you think? I mean, the show this year for Flowers in Bloom, Glastonbury in Bloom, is amazing.
So lucky. We're lucky with the weather. Last year, I remember, I think it was one of the driest Julys, whereas this was dry.
And then wet.
Exactly.
So it's been perfect.
Yes, it has.
And I tell you what, I've been round with them all morning and I've been blown away with the quality, the gardens and the work that's gone into this. It's like, whoa, impressive.
Also the thought that's gone into it. So much, a lot more wildlife themes.
Yes,
I think this year.
I've
Each
been
year,
mentioning that.
perfect.
Lots more bug hotels and
Yes.
planting for animals. It's superb. It's got to go that way, hasn't it?
So proud. And it's, people really love this. They really need this.
You know, it's so beautiful to actually come round and for people to talk about their gardens.
Yes.
You know,
And they want to talk. They want to talk about them, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've got a postage stamp, but I would love anyone to come and tell them all about it.
Absolutely. Well, I would explain my garden, but when you open my back door, there's a solid wall of green that you have to cut your way through to get into it.
Oh, proper wild garden.
It is. I mean, it's completely untended.
Given it to them.
Yeah, I have to get the hedge trimmer out every time I want to put washing on the line and clear it.
It's because you're a busy man.
Well, it's not just that. I know nothing about gardening, and I figure the animals are living out there.
Absolutely. I don't either. It's trial and error, isn't it? You plant something and then mightily surprised when it actually grows.
I know, my cats love it because they can creep around in the undergrowth.
Oh, I don't change a thing.
Yeah, don't change a thing, don't change. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. If ever you see my garden, I've been told by the Mayor of Glastonbury, don't change a thing. Thanks for seeing it. Wow, this is looking good. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this wonderful spread laid out for the judges. Fantastic. And behind it is a canoe. Now, it's not any old canoe. This is a very old canoe. Now, I'm going to be coming in here and doing some videos on this very soon. But we'll be looking at that again. But that is it's even older than me, and that's saying something. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, we've done some of the judging. I say we, I've followed them doing the judging. And here we are now, we're at the back of the tribunal with a lot of the people who are involved. There's the lady with the amazing hedge over there, and we've got the mayor, and we've got everybody else. Lots of people are involved in today's amazing display of flowers. Let's go and see if we can talk to some of them, because they normally run away when you get a camera out. Let's see what happens. Well then, I'm sure you've seen him all morning. He's one of the two judges in town. This is Terry. How are you doing, Terry?
Yeah, very good. We've had a fantastic morning this morning going around Glastonbury. A real wow of a town.
Isn't it?
As you drive in, you can't help but notice how good it is.
And he had his phone charged up with some crystals earlier.
No, I've got my phone charging now because the crystals didn't work. They wouldn't charge it up. No, even all those fantastic crystals.
Probably the wrong crystals, I would imagine.
They obviously weren't up to the modern way.
So, how did you become a judge for flowers in town Glastonbury in bloom?
Well, I've been a judge 20 odd years now. It's having a horticultural background, not necessarily being a professional horticulturist. I used to grow for exhibitions and that, and then got involved with Southwest in Bloom. We're all volunteers, the judges. We got some 40 judges that go around now, judging the towns and villages and the Itcher neighbourhoods and the communities, because to be honest, Bloom is really about the people rather than everything else. If you haven't got the people, it won't work. And we've met some fantastic people here today. But you've got some real quirky little things here. When you go in somewhere, you don't expect to see what you get there. No. When someone said it's quirky here, it really is quirky.
I'm brought to mind White Rabbit.
Yeah, the White Rabbit was fantastic. I tell you, the design of his garden at the back, the actual geometry of it, to get the water coming down, flowing both ways, and so shallow, was really good. He'd done a fantastic job. But his shop's a bit of a amazement. And the crystal he's got in there, some of the big ones, thousands of pounds,
I mean, are you allowed to explain to us what you look for, what your judging criteria are?
Yeah, we look at all sorts of things. There's three main categories. The first one is horticultural, and you look at for what displays you've got, how you've done it. Not just the sort of annual flower and the baskets, but what we see in the permanent planting, the care of the green and open spaces, those sort of things.
Yeah.
Another area is the community, which you have a little bit of a community going here. If you have a job moving somewhere where someone doesn't know everyone else. So it's the community and all the things that act with that, and then what we do to protect the environment and the wild areas and that sort of thing. You need to comply with all, cover all those sort of things, and Glastonbury is really good.
One of the things about Glastonbury, it's very community orientated. I mean, we have a thing called the Town Deal. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't heard that one.
That's a government scheme to inject money into town.
Yeah. The money you're doing by the town hall's changing. Yeah, I had that when I came the other day. Yeah.
£23.6 million pounds is coming into this town, and every single project is community led. It's the only town deal in the country that isn't run by a council. Yeah. I mean, you've got to admire that.
Yeah. I thought the entrance to the Abbey looked really good, but where they're going to have a complete new entrance there and open up their little church and that there, it'll look really good.
And don't tell him I said so, but Connor, our new town clerk, is amazing. He's done so much in his town.
You need the people to drive it.
You do, and he does drive it.
And the benefit we find with Bloom is, what it does is it brings a lot of communities together, because there's lots of communities in different places, but they don't necessarily know each other.
Absolutely.
Some of them you find they've got the same people, lots of them. But what Bloom tries to do is bring them together to give them opportunity to gain from the synergy of all the ones working together with it.
Absolutely.
But you know, we've been very impressed with what we've had here. It's been a good day. We've got a few more to go and look at this afternoon. A few more interesting things, and I'll see if I can find a crystal to charge me phone up.
Absolutely. I tell you, if we could win this on the strength of our lunch, we'd have been won it hands down.
Yeah. Well, we had Mary cater for us when we came here for the spring seminar. So when I walked in there, I could see who'd catered the lunch.
I thought, hello,
and her sausage rolls that everyone talks about. Yeah.
Yes.
No, she did a very good job.
Thanks, Terry.
Thanks very much.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a bevy of glorious-looking ladies, come to Glastonbury, and here they all are. Hello, we see you again. Now, you're all from Cavendish House, aren't you? Where we saw your beautiful gardens. We were blown away. I certainly was, but then I know nothing about gardens, but they were beautiful. Are you enjoying your lunch? Good, good, good. Well, thank you for inviting me in earlier on to see those gardens. I mean, I learnt 2 plants, I didn't know what they were today, so I'm learning. You have a great lunch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Michelle's run away, but we've still got Bridget. Hello, how you doing?
Gabriel.
Now, Bridget and I have known each other for a long, long time, and I've known the pub a long, long time. And you've just had some money spent on the front of your pub, and it looks glorious.
It does.
Oh my God, it looks beautiful.
And the garden out the back looks even better.
We're going to see that in a minute, don't you worry. Now, this pub is amazing. I love this pub because it's right opposite an Indian. Now, the Beckett's doesn't do food, and the Indian doesn't do drink. What an amazing symmetry that is. So
it helps because people can bring their food into us, but we also provide drink for the Indian.
Look at that. Now, that's how things should work. It's brilliant. Well, I look forward to coming down to see you later on in the pub.
You wait to see the garden. It's looking amazing.
I've not seen it since you've done it, so I'm looking forward to that.
It's definitely a wildlife haven.
Ooh. See, now we've been looking at lots of those today. It's amazing the way most of these gardens have got like a bug hotel or something, or they've planted for the insects.
We have our whole garden's ethos is on the environment. We've recycled, upcycled. We've got insect homes and baths, and we're also having a mural painted to be on the mural trail.
Oh, fantastic.
So that's a bit of excitement as well.
I've seen Kim in here somewhere. We'll have to go and talk to her about that.
You
that's
definitely
brilliant. Well, we'll be up to see you later.
Okie dokie.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm with the lovely men from Tickets in the High Street, and they've just told me it's their 20th anniversary here.
1st of August.
You don't look old enough to have been here anywhere 20 years. Never mind running a shop.
Thank you very much.
That looks brilliant. We're going to go over there later and see them because they're part and parcel of the Glastonbury and Bloom scene. And here comes Kim. Come in, Kim, don't worry.
Do you have anything interesting to say today?
On a day when Kim's got nothing interesting to say, the world has just come to an end. That's all I can say. So fantastic. We'll come and see you later. And today's been fantastic. The flowers and that, everything.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
Blown away, blown away.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll leave you to your lunch. It's a great lunch.
Thank you.
And I'll talk to you later.
Still a very, very quick thank you everyone so much for coming. Thank you for people who have been working tirelessly in their gardens, and thank you to the judges, thanks to Glastonbury judges, thank you ARC, and I just want to introduce you, if you haven't met, this is Ian and Terry. These are the national judges?
No,
Southwest judges, thank you. Southwest judges. Would you, and Margaret on our committee. Margaret, do you want to say anything?
Really only to say thank you very much, and to say thank you to the people of Glastonbury who never fail, ever, to bring us throughout their gardens, and they work so hard on. Here we have 2 judges, and thank you both for coming and welcome. To see all the effort that local people are putting to their gardens, and some of them are absolutely wonderful. And here we are in this wonderful building, and hopefully again we'll be welcome back again. We'll see how our garden here is perfect. Thank you very much.
Perfect, thank you very much. Would you like
Well,
to...
yeah, can I just say, we've had a fantastic day this morning. Yeah, it's been really good. We've met a lot of people. As you drive in the town, you can't say anything, but we say look for a wow factor when we're judging. You need a wow to start with. Before we even got to the judging, as you drive into the town, you can't help but see what an absolutely splendid town it is. I'm amazed that you've got so many businesses supported with you. That shows really the businesses are linked with your bloom groups. You're well supported by the town council, which is quite ambitious and got lots of things changing all the time, which is really good. I did get caught out once. We went to charge our crystals. We went into the White Rabbit was charging the crystals. I wanted to charge my phone up, but it didn't. it wouldn't charge it up. So I'm having to use what must be a much more modern method. No, but I'll tell you what, we've been in some fantastic places. Someone said to me, it's a bit quirky in Glastonbury. I think that's what you describe it. You know, we went into lots of places. When you go in, you don't know what to expect. And there's some actually fantastic little places we went in. The art galleries we went in, some of the shops we went in, you know, the different people, the communities. We went around your care home, which is absolutely splendid. And all the people there have an opportunity to do their own gardens as well, which I thought was really good. You know, there's a real community there as well. So we've had a really good, day up to now. We've got some more to do this afternoon. We're going back to visit some of them that we didn't have time to do everything today because there's so much to see here. But, you know, well done to all of you and the work that you do. It is great to see it. You're one of the best towns I've ever been to judge. I've been doing it. I've been doing this for 20 years now, and it's absolutely fantastic. I did come here quite a long time ago when Alan Gloat was doing it, and he took me round and we went to some of the businesses. We met some of his friends, which you would say were interesting, some of them, you know, when we met them. Some of the shops were a bit, I didn't take a drink or a cigarette in them, that was for sure, you know. But you've got a fantastic community here, you know. You've got such a history as well, you know. The museum you've got up here now, I had a pleasure coming here on the 4th of July to do some of your businesses and neighbourhoods. And we went round the Abbey, and the Abbey there in the museum they got is fantastic. You've got so much history here, so much to live on, you know. And I think you do a splendid job. So well done to everyone. I don't know if Miriam comes back next year, but whoever it is, I'm sure you'll look after them very well. And we'll look for changes. It's a job to see what you're going to do next. You've got so many things done, but I don't have any doubt. You know, Connor's already said he's got a few ideas for next year. So you make sure you've all got plenty of work to do. Anyway, thank you very much for having us here. It's been a great pleasure.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Terry said it all. But if I'm fortunate enough to come back next year, really looking forward to it because it's absolutely wow. When you drive into the town, it looks fabulous, and it's the best one I've seen so far.
Oh, was that a hint?
So much, and thank you for the wow factor. Definitely is Glastonbury. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is our little courtyard. We thought we would enter.
Yeah.
This is the sort of summer dining where when the weather is when the weather's nice. I mean, it's sort of touch and go today. The forecast was for rain, so we didn't set it up.
With a big smile. Well done. Built to have you holding a piece of fish.
And here we are, entering the wonderful St Margaret's Chapel. A beautiful garden if ever there was one.
We've been here 15 years now.
Oh, right.
15 years. This is what it was like when we started.
Oh, right.
I got the Rotary Club to come in and they dug it all out for us. And
did they use a rotavator?
As you can see, it was just a complete wreck before we did it. So that's how it is, isn't
So
it?
how many of you look after it now?
Sorry?
How many of you look after it now?
There were 4. Lynn, how many of us are there?
5.
5.
5. Yes, 5. We each have a bed each.
Oh,
Lynn,
right.
Yes.
We don't have to judge the beds, do we? One against another? Bit of see, I like competition, you see.
And then we have somebody else. We have William who does all the lawns and the paths and everything like that.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it's quite a big team. And then we have another team. Well, everybody else goes and does the shopping for us and fetches and things in because and clears the rubbish away. You know, so we have all that as well.
Very good. Take us around and show us these beds then. Let's have a look at them. From here, it looks really nice. Fantastic. Yeah, it's really good.
Thank you. Good.
the painting for us, and then once he
That's
got the
lovely.
painting up, then Jane designed the garden round, didn't
Yeah, Liz Pearson asked me. I'm a volunteer here, but I do a bit of gardening up in Chalice Well, and that was that was barren apart from a few.
Yeah.
So 3 months ago, he asked me to plant it up. Anyway, I'm very proud of it. He wanted woodland.
Yeah.
So I've made an effort with the astilbe and the betonias and the bleeding heart to make it look like that. Yeah.
So it's the sun here. The orange are its rays.
Yes. Yeah.
You've got the colours of sunset and sunrise in amongst, and then some clouds on either end.
Who does all the planting? All doing different?
No, I do it all myself. Everything. All voluntary. All paid for myself. Because this is my garden at night. I shut the gates.
So where do you live?
I live up there.
Oh, right.
The flat at the top there.
So which is your shop?
I haven't got a shop.
You haven't got a
No,
shop?
no. I just live
You're
here.
just a resident.
I'm just a resident.
Whoa.
And I do this for my own, because I say it's my garden. When everybody goes home, I sit down here and barbecue.
They don't leave the, what are the shops here? I didn't look at there's any food shops or beer shops, you know.
No beer shops, sadly.
Oh, that's no good. I was going to say, when you sat down here, you could be wandering and having a few little
Oh, I do that
perks.
anyway. Yeah, I'll do that anyway. Red wine is my tip. I haven't lived in France or Bath and stuff.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah. But no, it's lovely in the evening to sit down.
How
here.
long? So you've been doing this since lockdown?
Since lockdown, yeah. Yeah. I only started doing it to add a little bit of colour for my own benefit, really. I say it's my garden, and it's just built up to this. They reckon it's the most photographed part of Glastonbury at the moment.
Well, I tell you what, you're lucky there then, because I tell you what, Glastonbury has got millions of places to be photographed. I've never seen such a place, you know.
It's a pretty little town, isn't it, Glastonbury?
Do you find people have trouble finding you when you're wearing that waistcoat in this garden?
Absolutely,
Just
yeah.
merge in.
I usually wave a big pink flag. So
Just,
people
I'm
can see
here!
me, 'cause, yeah.
There's 77 tubs
Is there?
at the moment.
Well, they
Yes.
look really good.
Oh, it's going to grown over the years. I put more and more in.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want something framing or you want to see a beautiful garden, this is a lady come and see. Glastonbury Galleries here in the High Street.
I think I spend more time in this one than I do at home. I go home and water it, and that's about it.
Actually, I put the bird feeder in just this year, and I'm amazed at how many sparrows I now have in the morning.
Look here, ladies and gentlemen, remember we were talking about the bug hotels? Here's another one. Lots of these gardens that we've seen are taking this into account and putting bugs in hotels or planting for bugs. I think it's fantastic. I think more of that should be done. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the Beckett's Inn. So, they've just had their front repainted and it looks absolutely stunning. Let's go and see the garden.
Crocs that we use. We've got boots, shoes. But the garden's all about feeding the bees and the butterflies, the insects. We've got a hedgehog. We were the release site for West Hatch 3 years on the trot. I was a little bit worried about the proximity of a busy car park, and they said no, that's not a problem, because hedgehogs apparently walk around in a circle at night but come back to base. Yeah. And I think we had 2 or 3 lots each time, and we released them back into the community. We've only unfortunately got 1 at the moment, but
they are quite rare at the moment. We're not. They're getting.
I think the problem is a lot of the gardens around here have badgers.
Yeah.
If you have a badger, you don't get hedgehogs.
Yeah.
So we're but yeah. So this lady here has upcycled boots. There's toilets, sinks. That's a Belfast sink, which was originally in the cellar. So we've incorporated some of the stuff. But we can.
So how many of you look after this?
Well, it's normally me and this lady, but I'm slightly incapacitated. So unfortunately, this lady's had to do the bulk of it this year.
So there's only 2 of you doing most of it. So certainly a lot to do. Yeah.
Well, she's done it absolutely splendid. If we want to walk up to the next dry patch,
I'll walk on down through.
We can walk up to the next dry patch, and we've got rhubarb, we got raspberries, we.
You've got a bit of everything.
But at night time, because it's a pub garden, it obviously gets an awful lot of use in the summer. And there's lights.
I noticed you've got quite a bit of lights, so you
There's
can use
a lot of solar lights that come on and surprise people.
Yeah.
Like, it's very quirky. There's mushrooms. There's a watering can over there that's a water feature, except it's not a water feature. It's a light feature. But it's and we've got some very, very lovely trees, which we're very proud of. The big trees. Although unfortunately our horse chestnut's not too well. It's got the moth. It's also got canker, which is caused by the stress that the moths have. But I think
we had 2 big ones in our village. One went 20 years ago, and the last one went about 5 years ago.
Oh, really?
It was the centre of our village. They were 150 years old, the trees.
Yeah.
But I've got tree canker in it.
Yeah.
And then what happened is the branches started falling, so we couldn't leave it for safety.
We have got a Glastonbury thorn. Hasn't everybody got a Glastonbury thorn?
I think so now, yeah.
But it does flower twice a year. And on my Christmas table, I get to have the flower.
Lovely.
I am the queen of the buckets.
You are indeed.
I think this year I'll have to split the flowers with my colleague here. So
Princess.
She gets.
Is that the thing that they flower twice a year? Do they?
Yes. So it's a twice.
Yeah.
And it has
Christmas
fruit.
and Easter.
Oh, it's Christmas and Easter. I didn't know this. I didn't know it was twice a year.
So the king now gets a sprig of holy thorn for
Does he?
his Christmas dinner.
Yeah, we have a ceremony in about mid-December.
Which again is on the Glastonbury Gable YouTube channel if you want to go and watch it.
Children of St John's School, and the oldest child in St John's School cuts a sprig of holy thorn with the vicar and the mayor, and that gets sent off to, used to be the Queen, is now the King, for a display on their Christmas table.
And how long's that tradition been going? Years, isn't it? Long time.
I'm nearly 60, and it's been going on as long as I've known it's been going on. So
21.
Oh, thank you. Now, our latest project is where somebody, a local artist, is actually painting us a mural. That's only half of it. There's going to be the other half which she hasn't started yet on the other side of the trees. And it incorporates, because the pub, we have a lot of groups that meet and use us as a base. So we have the Glastonbury Dragons, which are depicted the red and white dragons. The face at the bottom is the Green Men. We are their home as well. And all the Beltane stuff is organised here and starts from here. Now the 3 design up through the middle is actually the emblem of the White Spring Gate. They have all their meetings in here. And obviously the circle at the top is the wellhead cover from Chalice Well Gardens, which we know the 2 gardeners from up there, and one of them belongs to a group called Positive Living Group that use us as a base. We have all sorts of because we're quite flexible, because there's 3 bars. We have lots of small groups come in and use us for get-togethers and meetings, and we don't charge them, and they just have whatever they need to have, and we try and look after them. This pub is very much about the community. As well
Words
as
I just wrote down, community pub. To be honest, every pub ought to be a community pub.
Absolutely.
It relies on the community for its business.
We're not a big corporate flash pub. We haven't got a kitchen. We don't do food. People bring the food in, and we give them plates and cutlery. and especially the Indian across the road, because they send customers to us, but then we
They don't do drink.
They don't do drink. But we provide plates and cutlery and washing up.
This is the more natural end of the garden.
Yeah.
So obviously hasn't got as many pots and things. We had a little bit of a space that we didn't know what to do with, so I'm turning it into like a woodland.
Yeah.
So it will progress next year. I've got a lady that's sowing us 40 foxglove plants for next year to go in, and some more ferns, and making it as natural as possible. Under the fig tree, we've got a wood pile, which is for the insects and the bugs, and that's where the hedgehog lives, under the hedge. So we've also, as you can see, it's not as tidy as some gardens, because we leave the
Doesn't need to be.
That's
for
fine.
the blackbirds to forage, all the birds forage and everything, follow us around when I'm gardening.
This has been transformed since I last came in here, this garden. Transformed.
And Mother Nature does most of it.
Why? With help of the insects. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been given a wonderful welcome here at the Beckett's by the amazing Bridget and Michelle, who are here. Michelle's camera shy, so she's been very brave. And I'd just like to ask the judges, can you, in a couple of sentences, can you sum up your day with us today?
Well, like I said, we've had a fantastic day here today. We've been well looked after. It's a fantastic town. You know, we look forward to your results.
Thank you.
But we can't tell you anything.
No, we wouldn't want to know.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
We wouldn't go and get our cards read.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take this opportunity while I'm in the garden of the Beckett's to say thank you for watching this video. I would also like to thank the judges, and I would like to thank Connor and the council for inviting us along so we could show you what goes on. There is so much happening as part of Glastonbury in Bloom, so many people doing so much work, and we just had a glimpse of it today. If you're interested, Glastonbury in Bloom 2024, they're going to be looking for volunteers. So if you want to get involved, get in touch with the council and ask to speak to anybody in there, and they will put you in touch with the Glastonbury in Bloom people, who will tell you what you can be getting involved with. Likewise, if you've got a business and you would like to be involved next year, get in touch with the council. If you would like a flower hanging basket next year, get in touch with the council. But for now, from me and everybody here, I'd like to say thank you and goodbye. Goodbye!